Torey Lovullo is going to be there for a while, too. We'll get into that contract extension, but first his team, a little pal there with Arizona. Torey, nice to talk. Always a pleasure here. We talked first day of the Super Bowl coverage in your ballpark, and you thought the rules, you thought the athleticism, the speed would be a huge factor for your ball club, and that is exactly what has happened these first 60-so games. Let's discuss that first. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's played out as good as we could possibly have hoped. You know, we got a lot of youth, a lot of athleticism, and as we keep pushing forward every single day, we know that, you know, if we control, we can control, do the things that we're supposed to do, take care of the things in the right order, and the process and the routine is laid down the right way, that we're going to be just fine. So yeah, I mean, we didn't predict that these rules were going to be anything that we would, draft our players for. It just landed perfectly, and we're trying to take advantage of it in the best way we can.
That's number one. Number two, you and I discussed at the time back in early February, the start of the season with the Dodgers. You played them 8 games. You can figure you get them out of the way, but you won 5 of the 8. And for a team that 2 years ago only won 52 games, that was, I think, a very big confidence boost. You really haven't looked back. How about the start of the season there, Torey, against L.A.? What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I do remember talking to you about that, and I felt very strongly, that it was going to be the right situation for this young team to go out there and see where they stood and see how they could, stand up against the best. It was the Dodgers and then the Padres and then back to the Dodgers. It was going to be a tough 10, 12 game grinding part of the season, but I told the guys to embrace it. I said, well, I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's see how we rank. Let's see what we can learn from it. When you get a new sideline and you have these great expectations and you're starting to feel like, you're putting things in the right place, who better would you want to play than the best? To get as good as you need to be, you got to practice and play against the best, and I thought it was just a great way for us to evaluate where we were. And we got through it okay. I think we ended up finishing 500, something we hadn't done in quite some time. It's been very lean here for a few years, but at the end of it, when we walked off the field after those final games and we started to push through in the middle of April, I felt like we started to create an identity. We started to feel like we could go out and compete against anybody and do the things we needed to do to come out on the right side of the day.
100%. That's number two. Number three, you gotten 2 great performances out of your 2 top pitchers. They've been wonderful, great ERAs. You can count on them. And that's about 40 to 45% of your rotation. Need a little more depth now, 3, 4, and 5. But how about your starting pitching with Kelly and Gallen? Both have been excellent. Thoughts with that?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We talk about 1 and 2. Both Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen have been outstanding. It's not just this year. We know that they're very capable of going out there and just keeping us in every baseball game that they're pitching in, and that's what you need. It all starts with starting pitching. It sets the tone for the day. You drive to the ballpark when you know one of these 2 guys, and beyond, we have 3, 4, and 5 that are throwing the ball well right now too. But it's just a nice feeling when you walk in, you know that they're throwing. You're going to give yourself a chance to win the baseball game. But as far as the additions, that's not really my territory. We got to put ourselves in a position to allow ownership to say this is what we want to do, and we got a great front office that if it does get to that point and we are at a crossroads and we got to find a way to get better, they will certainly enhance our team.
100%. Good job. Stay in the mix and put a little pressure on the front office, and you get some reinforcements with you. Tricky loss there on Sunday. I read the quotes. I know that stung for a bit. Some positives there, but obviously the grand slam by Rosario there in the 9th. Do you feel that your 9th inning situation is solidified? I'm not sure where we stand with a couple of your injured performers. What can you tell me about the bullpen late in games once we get to some significant spots later in the year?
Yeah, right. How many times do you lose a baseball game with 2 outs in the 9th inning and the guy hits a grand slam? It just doesn't happen very often, but it happened, and we lost. And we gotta be better. We gotta find a way to create opportunities to score more runs in the middle innings, so we don't put ourselves in a position to throw our relievers in 1-run games. But the bottom line is we just didn't execute. We gotta do better. I trust our bullpen. We had some bullpen issues last year. It's been well documented. We lost some games late, but that has not been the case this year. Our group has done an unbelievable job of coming in and getting outs and doing their job the way they're supposed to. So, additions. Everybody's asking me, you need this, you need A, B, C, and D. We got 26 guys out there every single day that are plowing and going forward, and they're going to find a way to get it done. This bullpen has been very good. They've been very trusted. And it's just one of those days where we got clipped, and it did sting. It stung for sure. but it hurts because it matters and we care, and that's the most impressive thing.
Very unheralded first baseman. He's very underrated. He's got a lot of home runs. He's a good power hitter. How about Walker? What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, he's definitely an under the radar guy, and I think he loves it that way. He's a very humble, hardworking player. He has made his game better and better every single year, not just offensively. He won a Gold Glove last year, but I'll tell you what, he's the first one out there taking ground balls every day, even on a Sunday day game. It just doesn't matter. He is unbelievably gifted when it comes to accepting coaching. He comes to the ballpark with the expectation of getting better, and when he hears something, he will apply it. If he doesn't understand it, he will ask why. But he has a plan every single day to come out there and get the job done, to get better, and then it just translates in the game. He continues to impress me. He can hit balls in all directions out of the ballpark, but he's one of our leaders offensively. And, like I said, he gets it done a little bit differently. He gets it done under the radar, and that's everything that he prefers.
I'm glad to see they made sure they extended you, but I was more impressed with the organization that after two, especially the 1 year where it was rough, they stuck with you. I mean, they showed a lot of loyalty to you, and they stuck with you, and they didn't make any moves. And then, obviously, it's turned around, and they rewarded you. So I think there's a good chemistry going on with you in the front office. And you won 52 games. You were 52 and 110, and they didn't jettison you out of there. And a lot of managers won't survive that. You did. Give the front office credit, and now they've given you the extension that you deserve based on what's going on right now. Let me get your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I am extremely grateful, right? Great ownership with Ken Kendrick, Derek Hall in the front office, Mike Hazen, and company. You're right. Who survives a 52-win season? It just doesn't happen very often. But I think the relationships and the ability for me to separate and do my job and have them understand that I'm there for one reason, and that's to help the players get better. That would shine through every single day. And it was a dark time, I'm not going to lie. So I'm at times can get a little tone deaf with different things, but at the end of the day, I just have to remember that we are one, and this organization is pushing towards the opportunity to get a chance to do something special. So I just told Mike a couple of years ago, I just wanted to get an opportunity to manage these players that were coming through the system. We were all very well aware of them. We knew how talented they were. And we would cross that bridge if we could get to it, and I have. So I'm grateful for that. So everybody's asking me, the questions about the extension, the lengthy extension. I'm grateful for what this organization's offered me. I owe them, and at the end of the day, I've got to continue to do my job and let things fall where they may. And I want to honor that contract. That's what my parents taught me to do, and I'm proud to be an Arizona Diamondback.
On the floor of Hee Haw, 100% with Mr. Lovullo there. We get a chance because his dad, of course, was an executive producer of all those shows in the late 60s. Torey, great to see you. Great to have you with us. We'll get you again here in the course of the year. Good luck this week against Washington. Thanks for a few minutes today.
Always great catching up, Mad Dog. We'll talk to you soon.